Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show this evening is the king and queen of Rangers Radio, the one and only Linda, and the legend that is the Bridge. Evening, boys, evening, girls.
Evening, Oxshire, evening, Bridgeman, evening to all the listeners. Hope you're all keeping well.
Oh, what can I say, Oxshire? Good evening to yourself, and good evening to your Cracky team in the background there. And I hope everybody's doing well, and a big good evening to Linda. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, a wonderful result for the team at the weekend. Fabulous, and they played very, very well. I'm very happy. Good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, it's lightened the mood a bit in the camp. I thought about it today, Linda, and the game was nervy at times. Big Judge Cyriel, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. He wants to have a wee look at himself. But when the game finished and you look back at it, actually, we won really comfortably, if I'm being honest, and actually 2-0 flat hearts.
Okay, Ox, and it was a really positive ending to what's been a bit of a really awful week for the club, for the team and us as fans. And as you say, it was relatively comfortable. Hearts had a couple of wee moments, but we could have probably scored more goals as well, which I'm sure you'll come on to. But yes, as I said, an improved performance, and it needed to be to get the win. So absolutely delighted, and we're into a cup final, the season ender.
Yeah. First time we played them in a cup final in 21 year or 22 year, 2002, 22 year. Yeah. Yeah, but according to people down south, we play them every week in the cup final. It doesn't work like that, Bridgeman, I want to work back on the game. I want to look at something that happened late on, and then move to the start. Right, Bridge, run me through it. What was Fabio Silva trying to do?
I think he studs get caught in the grass. That's what I think. I just can't believe that he never touched that ball. I can't believe he never touched it. Even a missed kick, even a trip of the ball in the top, but he never touched it. And it's as if he was trying to stop, but that's what made me think somewhere along the line he's got his studs caught there, and he just fell. And I hope that there's never any Rangers fan anywhere or Rangers player on the pitch or in the dugout, but I was thinking that was a penalty. For God's sake. No,
but if it's
and it wasn't even a dive, that's what I'm meaning. It
fell, but it was comedy gold, Linda. I'm glad it was nothing each at the time.
Yeah, it had to be him as well, didn't it? With a lot of the palaver that's been going on with him, there are a lot of times that he's being fouled, we accept that, but it's his theatrics. And do you know what as well, Ox? I wish he had just stuck that away, because I think it might have done him good.
I agree. Rather than what happened to him yesterday, but I just thought it was comedy gold. No, especially when the game was finished. You've relaxed and you think, what was he trying to do, Anyway, so the game started, and we started on the front foot, and we were playing at a better tempo. Is that fair, Linda?
Yeah, definitely. For once, we never conceded a chance to the opposition early doors, and Dessers had that early chance that it was maybe just behind him, Ox, and he put it over the bar, but you thought, right, we're on the front foot here, so let's go.
Yeah, so the big decision, Bridgeman was leaving Golson and bringing in Balogun. I was actually surprised that happened, but if you're picking the team on form, it makes sense.
Yeah, although personally I think Golson had been carrying a wee injury. That's what I honestly think.
Is that your thoughts?
Well, that's one at some of them. I think that Balogun played a very, very good game, and I think it was justified for his selection. Excellent. No complaints about Balogun.
He had a real good game by Balogun.
Absolutely, yeah.
So and then in about 5 minutes, Linda, the ball gets played up. I think it was John Lundstrom, I think, from memory, played up. The Hearts defender tries to flick it back. It falls to Tav. There's a wee bit of coming together. He gets in front of the Hearts player, nicks it to Cantwell. Cantwell plays a pass into Dessers, and I'll leave you to describe the rest, Linda.
Dessers does what Dessers does at times. He looks totally off balance, but he somehow manages to. He absolutely sold the Hearts defender a dummy, didn't he? Drags it back onto his left side, which I'm now convinced that he's stronger on his left side. He thinks he is anyway, and he tucks it right under the goalkeeper. It's a fantastic finish, but credit to Tav for winning the second ball, and also to Todd Cantwell. And you've got to drop your hat to Dessers. It's a really good finish, Ox.
Yeah, I mean, we've maligned all our players, but you've got to give credit when it's due, Bridge. It was a decent goal, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant goal. Absolute super goal. The footwork alone, he's managed to get a fabulous pass from Cantwell, who got a good pass from Tav. But Cantwell played absolutely brilliant. Great football. Superb football from Tav, Cantwell, and a great pass into Dessers. And Dessers showed a wee bit magic, managed to control the ball, pull it over to his left, and then dummied them. I think he was trying to dummy himself, admittedly, but he certainly dummied them and got past the ball. A lovely left foot shot under the goalkeeper, as Linda said. Super goal. I have no complaints about that. I'll take that any day of the week. Fantastic.
I enjoyed that. I don't know if I cheered or I was in shock, Linda.
He has that effect on you, Ox, doesn't he, Dessers?
But a popular goal, bizarrely. I think, as mad as it seems, we can throttle him at times and never wanted to see him in a shirt, but he seems to have a likeable personality, bizarrely.
Yeah. He tries hard, and he's a likeable big guy, and it's just he's got 19 goals for the season, but we always just think he could have, easily 25, 26. I'm trying to know. I don't want to give him too much of a hard time.
No, he could have the gold and platinum boot, Bridge, couldn't he?
He's scored 19 for the season. But look at as Luna says, in fact, he double that, and that's a misses at least. So he could have scored easily, double that easily. We need to have scored 4 or 5 in Sunday. Aye, crazy.
I suppose the argument would be he's getting in the positions, but listen, good goal, good move, good goal. Everybody happy. So, excuse me.
But can I just say on that?
What's that on your Bridge?
It's just that a wee bit earlier I mentioned Shankland. I think Dessers completely outshone Shankland. Completely in every aspect of the game. For that game anyway, Wow.
Listen, if you want to talk about Shankland, I mean, a couple of times at the halfway line he got the ball and he's took a nice touch and he's laid it off, but I don't think he was involved too much running about our goal, But I don't want to criticise the boy because I don't watch him week in, week out, and he's obviously a good finisher, but you can only judge him what we see against us, and he's not exactly set the heron on fire. But let's hope he sets the heron on fire when he plays another certain team for the City London.
Yes, absolutely. Carry on, Lawrence.
We're right behind you, son. Yes, right behind you. But listen, you're maybe right that Dessers outshone Shankland yesterday. I didn't think we would say that at times of the season, but he did. Man of the match. Dessers 2 goals, the winning goals from the through. So we get the goal, Linda, and we're well on top. We're well on top for about the next 15 minutes. Only criticism, we just never forced the second goal. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think so, Ox. And they had a couple of wee sort of half chances, if I remember rightly, didn't they, Ox? But it came from us giving the ball away. Lundstrom gave a terrible ball away.
Oh,
at one
that pass
point,
to Diamandi. Oh.
and the boy Forrest picks it up and breaks into the left-hand side of your box, and then Jack's got it well covered at his near post. But that just came from really sloppy play from Lundstrom. There was no pressure on him or anything. You know, it's those sort of moments that changes games as well, Ox, isn't it?
Aye. One of the things I did notice is how easy Forrest got past him. When he came down and he went down outside him, he just ran past him. And let's be honest, the boy's a reasonable pace player, but he's no lightning. No, you know, so again, I'll doff my hat to Southside. He noticed it before Maesties did. John's lack of pace, and I think he's all right when he gets going, but it's a bit like yourself, but you need to get him revved up and started.
Absolutely. I think, to be honest, I think any centre halves like that, they're nobody good on the ground, particularly from a standing start. They've got to be really 100% fit or more. Really, really good lower leg. Everything's got to go right. And I'm afraid Big John let himself down a couple of times. And that's one of the reasons, because he hasn't got the pace. But you know, as you said, when he gets running and gets going, he can maintain that pace. And that's sometimes enough to catch up with a guy, even to give him a wee bump or whatever, you know. And he does it sometimes. My goodness gracious, he gets shown up a few times yesterday. Wow.
Aye, there was times in the midfield I did think we played some nice stuff. I've still got a problem with our shape, and I know it was noticeable at times. Lundstrom, and then right in front of them, Diamandi, and then Cantwell. We are playing in a straight line, but it's up the park, Linda. And it does worry me that teams, when you're out of possession, and they just put you off playing it into that channel. Because, let's be honest, it doesn't matter how quick you are. You'll not be able to be in two places at once. Just something I keep picking up on. And I watched that again yesterday, and it happened about 5 or 6 times. You're in that straight line up the park, the whole of the midfield.
Mm-hmm. And it leaves big gaps as well, Ox, doesn't it? As you say, particularly down that kind of inner sort of position, left and right. And better teams will exploit that more, won't they, Ox?
Aye, that's my concern. Anyway, so we had a big chance. I can't remember the timing of the chance, but young Matondo, he's coming through, and we consider the brilliant goals he scored in the last month. He's got a better chance. He's a boy that just has to use his pace, Linda, isn't he?
I don't know. He's has these really, really brilliant moments in games, and then he has moments that you just, you know, you're scratching your head or tearing your hair out. The one that the one that I'm thinking about, Ox, was, I don't know if it was Cantwell that was running through, and he just laid it off to Matondo, and I'm thinking, just hit that first time. He takes a touch and he narrows his angle, and then I think he just scuffed it off the back line. Yeah. He needs to hit it first time with his left foot. So I don't know, Ox. I didn't think he had a particularly good day yesterday.
I don't disagree. I thought the pitch and the spaces would have suited him, but in the first half he was getting the ball and going back. But he just wanted me to go forward and use that pace, because it's a weapon, you know, and it runs the legs off teams. They've got to work hard, and they've got to have 2 men coming across, and you just have to move it, and there's space for other people. But listen, he scored some good goals, but had that chance, as Linda said, another nice wee ball for Cantwell, and for me, he's got to do better.
Yeah, the ball for Cantwell was fantastic, and he just overhit the ball, simple as that, because he ended up, the ball was running out of the park, to be perfectly honest with you. So
ended up doing nothing really, didn't he?
Exactly, so it hit the ball. Let it go, fine. Even if he hits it outside, he's right. Hit it. That's all he needs to do. Doesn't matter. It's gone now. Look at the times he's tried to obviously replicate the goals he scored with the sort of cross across from the left over to come across and run on the right foot and put the ball into the far corner of the net. And he's done that a number of times. And he's trying to replicate that. He must have done that 5 or 6, maybe 7 times yesterday. He's turning out, in my mind, to be a bit of a one-trick pony when it comes to these things. He's not involving the other players, and he's not passing the ball. He's a lovely player, and he's got a lot of pace, as you said. If he just uses his body and gets a wee bit trickery, when he's on the edge of the box and don't try and have a shot, and don't try and put the ball and turn it, because there's too many people generally in front of him, and he's got to hit it at a different angle. And all that nonsense. Square the ball or push it back.
Make the right decision at the right
Exactly.
time. Yeah. There was another when he burst through in the first half, Linda. I'm thinking, go on, use your pace, you know.
Yeah, Ox, and I think with Matondo, we've seen this loads of times since he came to the club, that he does quite well when he comes on, and you then think he's forcing himself into the starting lineup, but he quite frequently doesn't deliver when he starts a game, Ox, and you never want somebody to just be a super sub all the time, but I think he's definitely a better impact player, Ox.
I understand that, Linda. I get where you're coming from. So Hearts came in, they had that chance that we mentioned, but listen, Big Jack wasn't under much pressure. We weren't maybe making as much chances or as much effort at goal as we should have done. So we're in 1-0 at half time, reasonably comfortable. The second half started. I'll go to you, Bridge, and I felt that we're playing the second half. That's when we should have put the game to bed. We were totally dominant. We had them pegged back, and we had opportunities to make chances, and just either through our slack play at times or good defending by Hearts, because they were putting everything, they were working hard without creating a lot. We should have made more opportunities, Bridge. Would that be fair?
Oh yes. To me, that's about the fairest thing that's been said tonight. We should have made scored goals, should have made more opportunities. Sorry, what was that one?
I said that in the line about the Clyde supporters.
Clyde supporters, yeah. No, I don't think I was very good. That's shocking, by the way. Just shocking. I was only away.
I know, I was only joking. I was pulling your leg. Right, Linda, I don't know what you thought about that, the opportunities, that moment in the game. Let's say the first 15 minutes of the second half, we were moving them, and it just wasn't quite happening, was it?
No, it wasn't. Sterling, I don't know what you thought of him playing at left back again. He had a brilliant run on the left hand side, Ox. He just basically out-muscled the Hearts guy, and then he takes it in, and I was thinking he needs to cut that back, and I think he tried to score with his right foot in at the near post, and it went out for the corner. But that was a great run with Big Sterling.
Yeah. I know you have favourite players in that, and you get, we all do it. And there's guys that if somebody does something, you say, oh, he was unlucky there. If somebody else does it, you say, oh, that was crap. Yeah, the two players do the same thing. I rate and like Big Sterling. So I want him in the team. I don't know if that's right or wrong, or I'm seeing something that's not there, Linda. I just think he's got a tremendous attitude. His pace and power is an asset to the team. I'd rather him play in midfield. But then with David Diamandi, who I thought at times yesterday done some excellent things. He's going to give us a bit of a heart attack at times, Diamandi, particularly in big games, but he's definitely a footballer. Yeah,
agreed, Ox. And I think most Rangers fans think that we need to find a place for Sterling. It's quite a sad indictment for Barisic that he's a natural left back, but the manager's gone with Sterling with his wrong foot as well. He's obviously right-footed, but he trusts him to play there, and I thought he did well again on Sunday. So no, you're right. I still think he might be better in midfield, but who would he actually replace in there when everybody's fit? You're right, Ox.
Well, aye, maybe it'll happen next season. You never know, but I just think that pace and power is an asset, Bridgman. I just do.
Yeah. By the way, I thought he did a smashing game yesterday.
I thought he done okay.
And the way he could get in, and that one, you're always good when you got somebody in your side that can just gets their foot there, just in front of the opposition, and toe the ball away, That's amazing how he can do that. I used to get angry with guys running about me because I couldn't do that. But no, it's brilliant and it's great pace. And of course, he sort of falls out of the game and then comes back in again. And I think he's going to be a really good player for us. I really do. And I think he's going to prove to be the best player that we've actually brought in other than a goalkeeper.
I see what you mentioned there. You know how you have guys, that tackle and it's all, and then you had other guys that sort of just lifted the ball off you.
Yeah.
You know, equally, it's an art at times. It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely, yeah. It's
You know,
always good. Really, truly. You try it yourself. No, I'm not totally kidding on. Just get it. You know what I mean?
It never
Just get
happened
the
to me,
toe in.
Bridge. I don't think I ever gave the ball away.
I
I can't remember. No, I'm sure there must have been one
right.
when I tried to back you up or something.
Gun yourself, pal. Gun yourself.
If only. If only. Right. No, so I think we should have maybe, I'm not saying we should have scored more goals because what we should have done is made more opportunities, Linda, at that particular time. And then,
yeah, I think so, yeah, definitely.
And then we had the other with John Suter, and for the next 10 minutes, bizarrely, I think nerves spread to the fans, spread to everybody who watched it, and spread through the team. John had a bit of a bomb scare for about 15 minutes. Big man, we like you. Just get that out of your game and stop these self-made rickets. Linda?
Definitely, Hawks. I honestly didn't know what was going through his mind at that point. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. He lunged in, he mistimed his tackle. That one out on the sideline obviously nearly led to a goal. And Tav bailed him out as well by blocking off the cross that came in from John's mistake. So I don't know why this happens to Suter. As you say, Ox, we know he's got that in his game, and unfortunately he has made a few errors. He's not the only one. But certainly I don't know why that happened in that particular part of the game, and it could have really cost us again, just out of nothing.
Aye. I was a mad 10 minutes or something, Bridget.
Well, I must admit I was shouting loudly at the telly. And it's quite incredible. And I don't normally get so excited. But oh my God, I was shouting at that boy. I was like, we should never have got you, blah, 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 But he made amends for it. And there was 2 or 3 times he did the similar thing. And to be honest, at the level Rangers are hoping to play at, I don't know if Suter is going to be your answer. What I do think might happen as we go on is they'll play Golson and Balogun. That's what I think they'll do. I think Golson will be brought back in.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, John, that period, probably kept a clean sheet, yeah. So the manager maybe have a word in his ear. So then, Linda, we huffs and puffs makes and gets the second goal, yeah. Another good goal. And Todd Cantwell, who I thought was arguably our best player yesterday, but I didn't give him man of the match, and I'll tell you why. I'll comment on it later on, but I'll tell you why. But he burst through, showed a bit of pace, got the ball just inside the Hearts half, burst through, took a couple out, kept running to defence, but he's good at dummied a couple of them, had them all over the place, and then played the ball to Dessers. And he obviously hit the goal away, and then again gets it back and composes himself. And another good finish.
I was wishing that Todd Cantwell had put that ball away himself, tucked it nicely, because that would have been some goal. Because as you say, he did brilliantly, and it actually had come from Lundstrom winning a really good tackle in the midfield, and Dio gets the ball, plays it quickly to Cantwell. That's what they need to do with him. They need to get the ball to Todd quicker, Ox, so that he can burst through like that. But you're right, Dessers at the second attempt with his left foot again.
So, yeah, you're onto something there, Linda. You're onto something.
I know.
Maybe
Sorry,
Dessers
I can't let this go. I can't let it go, Ox. Something about him. With this left foot, this left side. Anyway, do you know what, Ox? It just settled the nerves, and we needed to get that second goal.
Aye, because obviously one mistake, one fluke goal, and you're ruined your missed opportunities, or you're being on top. But it was another decent goal, Bridge, particularly the play again with Cantwell.
That was an utterly brilliant goal. And Bridgman saying that fabulous goal, another great goal by Dessers. The whole moves. It's the whole moves. Lindstrom, Cantwell, and a long busting run to him, which is what we're looking for from people like him. They'll run with the ball at your feet right over into their half and do the business. Obviously, he's going to get to somebody, so he gives it to Dessers, and Dessers, make no mistake, what a great goal!
Aye. And I think everybody realised that was the game done, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. You could kind of see the energy kind of, drain from the Hearts players, because I think you say that often. If you get that second goal, it just kind of kills their hope, doesn't it?
Aye, there's a hope it kills you. So then we made some substitutions, and we were playing reasonably well. And by the way, I thought young Raskin, we talked about him last week in times and he disappeared. I thought he showed a great attitude when he came on yesterday. Linda, then Bridge.
Yeah, he did, Ox. He get stuck in and he broke up play, and he was trying to get the ball forward as well. And I was glad to see Nico back, because he's been so far out the picture, Ox, when sometimes Nico on form when he first came to the club, we kind of have been lacking that in the midfield over the last wee while there. So it was quite strange to see him not even getting any minutes previously. So really glad to see him back in the team, and who knows, maybe young Nico will have a big part to play going forward, Ox.
Yeah, no, but we didn't mention earlier on Big Seema, who I thought started the game.
Oh, aye.
And hopefully it's nothing to worry about, just hopefully Bridgeman, because we want to catch a break. The big man's pace and power and fitness, if he's fit, is an asset. We wish him all the best.
He's played quite well too.
He was well involved in the game.
Absolutely. I think going back to Raskin, I think what Linda said is absolutely true. I thought the time he came on and the way he played with a bit of style about his play, when he got the ball and he managed to get it passed on, I thought that was smashing. So a wee dynamo in the middle of the park there, doing what a good dynamo in the middle of the park does, wins the ball and moves it on, and that's what he done. And I think you could do with one or two of them in your team without being over the top. Because sometimes our players are really good, but sometimes they're over the top nonsense.
There was a run he made when young McCausland came inside, and I thought young McCausland done well, apart from it doesn't maybe add up, but I thought he'd done well cutting inside, and then it was his final pass that left him, so hope the young man learns for that. But there was one when Raskin made a great run, and I didn't notice it till last night. Never noticed it at the time. And he was screaming for the ball inside the box, and he was right through and tapped the goal, and he would have a chance of scoring. But it just a great run for young Nico. So we had him out the picture, Linda. Great to see him back. Whatever is, hopefully we wish him well, and he could be another player that could help us between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And even if he doesn't start games, it's good to have him there, and the manager will trust him enough to put him on. Whereas, as I said earlier, we just weren't seeing him at all. So I'm glad to see him back. You're right about young Ross. I thought he did okay when he came on. Seems to want to come inside all the time rather than going round the outside, Ox. And we've noticed that a few times. And I think Albert made a point about Ross. He needs to be a bit more confident and take the player on and maybe even get a shot away sometimes. But I'm still hopeful that he's going to come good for us going forward, Ox. Young Ross.
I think that if we're serious, well, he's not going to turn up in July and be 6'4".
No.
But I think he's going to have a programme for the next couple of months that when he comes back, he's just a wee bit more adult, to help him.
Yeah, totally agree.
That makes sense, Bridge.
Yeah, it complements his own abilities at times.
He's got ability.
Running back and covering defensive midfield stuff. I think he does quite a bit of that and does it very well. But you can see when he's running back, because it's difficult to run back and tackle someone or try to get a tackle in with someone who's maybe half a yard in front of you and they're a bit bigger and stronger than you. So it's always quite difficult. but he's trying his best. You can see him putting himself about a wee bit, and I like that. Back to what Linda says, he really struggles to get past people with pace. It doesn't seem to. I think he's cheating. I don't mean he's really cheating, but it's cheating to watch. You think he's going to get a ball and he's going to race right past him. He just doesn't do it. A bit of trickery, he can get the ball back inside and get it across, which is not 100% true. But my goodness gracious, he is a good wee player, and I like him. And he scored a couple of goals for us. So he could actually come into the inside right position and have a shot at goals every now and again.
Yeah, he's got to get another string to his bow, mate. And then, obviously, if you start making chances, a lot of chances or things are coming off you. You don't have to have that other string. But to get your level, your game to the next level on a purely selfish basis, we want him to get another couple of strings to his bow. That would be, for me, crossing and shooting, Linda. Crossing and shooting, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And if he's not got this sort of blistering pace like a Rabbi Matondo or even like, Sima, as you say, he needs to get himself stronger so that he can maybe force himself past, maybe that last man. I would sometimes just like to see him just shift the ball to the right and take the play around the outside, just as you say, Ox, mix it up. And sometimes, he doesn't do that. He comes inside most of the time, but definitely, I love watching young Ross play. I think he's terrific.
Yeah, here we go. Right, I'm going to say something here that's bizarre. It's where I feel. Dessers got man in a match yesterday. And I get it, because he scored the 2 goals and they were the 2 winning goals. Not a problem. The best football on the park yesterday for me was Todd Cantwell. But the Rangers player in the match for me was Leon Balogun. Just with the attitude shows, considering he's not played for so long. He's a top pro, and really, I know he's a decent age for a footballer, but man, he's another man with a great attitude, and maybe we've missed him because obviously he's had his injuries and his his injuries and illness, and he just went out there as if he hadn't been out of the team. So I've got to congratulate him, Linda.
Yeah, agree, Ox. Came back into the team, as you say. He's not played a lot of football. We were led to believe he had about a sickness as well during the week, or he would have started against Dundee. That's what the manager said. So I don't suppose you've got to take him at his word there for that, Clement. I thought he was really good, as you say, Ox. Terrific attitude. He loves the club. He never seems to take the huff if he's not playing. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but I thought Tav had a more solid game, perhaps, on the right side, Ox. And I don't know about the relationship between him and Golson in terms of their play on the park. They just haven't looked in sync the last maybe 3-4 weeks. So having Balogun back in there maybe has made Tav maybe have a more steady game, Ox.
Right, we'll hear from Leon Balogun. We'll get the phone lines opened, and then Bridge can give his thoughts on that. Let's hear from Big Leon.
So after the last couple of results, how important?
Where's your Scottish accent?
I don't have a Scottish accent. Yeah,
shocking.
Like you, I know. Maybe it will develop over the next few years. I'm not sure.
You can try.
But how important was it today to win after the last couple of results?
I mean, it's self-explanatory. We wanted to go to the final. Winning the game means we go to the final. I think we've managed.
And obviously you've already picked up a trophy this season. How hungry are you for more success?
Always. I think this is what this club is about. This is what you sign up for when you serve the club. And it's sometimes easy to separate the emotions from being a bit rational about it, and especially within the last week and the 2 results we had, which were less, what's the word now? Satisfying?
Less than ideal, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It can feel like the world's going down, and I think the manager's been brilliant to remind us of our strength, show us, even though the outside world might not see it that way, that still in those games there were a lot of things that we can pick out, that we can build up on, and today was about imposing that into the game. And obviously, if you look at the game, there were spells where you felt we might struggle a bit, but I think we've got that resilience back that we had before in the team, and we just needed to find our feet again. And I think we've done that today. And yeah, I know you always want to see us like super convincing, and there's times like that as well. And I felt also from the stands today it was good, because in those moments we were pushed today, and that's what we need. Sometimes get the emotions to the side, and then and understand what the team needs in the moment, especially when we're struggling. And I felt the energy from the stands today. I think all the boys did. We had a few arguments on the pitch as well, which was good to see because everybody was really at each other in order to keep that result, keep the clean sheet, and make sure that we get this over the line. And then now we're in the final.
Leon, I suggested to the manager today that you'd given him a bit of a headache, a good headache to have. I suggested that you were man of the match. A lot of really good clearances, a really good performance for you. You've had to wait a while to get back in the team. How do you feel after that?
Tired. It was tough today because I've been ill. Beginning of the week, I only really got back on my feet on Thursday, I think. So yeah, it was tough, but it felt good to be out there again. I think it's no secret that I really love this club. It's my club by now. You like to think so. I found my spiritual home, and yeah, good things come to those who wait. That's what I live by. My father taught me to be patient, and I'm happy that I could contribute with a good performance today.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Bridgeman, got a great attitude to bring in, isn't he?
Oh yes, a super player. I liked him all during the first time he was here. The only problem I ever had with him is when he was playing left-sided centre half. It wasn't his, because he knew a left foot, so it wasn't his strongest side. However, any weakness in there, he made up for it. I think he's been a great player for Rangers, and he's been a good player for Rangers now. And I thought, well done for his first time in for a while, and I thought he played a smashing game. I wouldn't have went as far as to give him man of the match. I understand the reasons you've given for that. My man of the match would have been Cantwell, and no far behind him, John Lundstrom. I thought Lundstrom was absolutely superb. Once again, two of the players that were well criticised for the last two games.
I thought Lundstrom had a spell in the game, he does well, but I think, and then there was that bomb scare, similar to, it was as big an error as John Souters. For me, that pass, there was no need for it, and then when he did pass it, it was way off the radar. But listen, we can all do it. We can all make mistakes. It's an easy game when you're watching. But listen, I didn't say Big Balogun was man of the match. Dessers and Cantwell will grab the headlines, Lyndon. I'm just saying his attitude deserves praise.
Yeah, I think he was a contender for man of the match, Ox. I think it was quite nice. We had, 3 or 4 players that, you would take into consideration for that. And that was a nice change compared to the last few games. But Balogun, I just think for somebody that's hardly played, and he's just confirmed there that he was ill during the week, and that's his performance is even more impressive considering that, he had been ill. He got to play right-sided centre back as well. I don't know if he's ever got a chance to play right-sided centre back before, because it's always Golson that's there. But the manager has got an interesting selection ahead of the game at the weekend, Ox, because it's not easy for Balogun or Suter to play that left-sided centre-back. We know that. So what you wonder what he will do. I don't know if he'll keep Golson out any longer. I'm not sure.
That'll be interesting. Come and give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Aye, give the manager a problem. That's a good thing, Bridger.
100%, absolutely. And these are the things that I'm sure Balogun and others, because he'll be dropped and then back in again and so on and so forth. Maybe even between now and the end of the season. They've really all got to step up to the plate now. Very little time left for some of these players, and they've got to shine. And we've got 2 major games in the distance, and the next game's the biggest game of the whole lot.
The next 6 games.
For me, next game, biggest game of the whole lot.
Oh, without a doubt. The other 5 don't matter. You don't get this right, but you're spot on. You're spot on. But we'll build up to that as the week goes on. But Linda, so overall performance, we've been really critical of our team. People would have had us beat before we started. Well, we're nervous. More nervous than we'd have been 10 days before we were playing that game. But overall, I'm going to give it a 7.25 out of 10.
I wouldn't disagree, Ox. I think in the build-up to
even
the
at
game,
unusual mark, 7.25. You're not going 7.5, 7. No,
7.5. I'll give it.
all right. So.
You're doing a lot of agreeing with Ox there tonight. What is going on with you?
You've got to do that to get back on the show.
Oh, you've noticed then, eh?
Oh, by the way, Pitch, whatever the stick she was giving us before the show, there's only one person in charge around here that's not me.
I'll agree with you, Linda. I'll go for that. The 7.5's fine for me.
Right, that's fine. Right, so there you go. Right, so that's 2 of you voted that, so the 7.25 gets it because I get 3 votes.
Oh, brilliant.
No, but considering where we were and the questions we were throughout the team, you've got to say that over the piece, yeah, John Lundstrom misplayed a pass and was wrong annoyed at the time. It happens. And John Suter's got to learn for let's say it was 3 or 4 errors in a 10-minute period, London, that could have changed the game, eh?
Yeah. I mean, you watch football just now, Ox, there's just mistakes getting made all over the place, isn't there? You look at the other semi-final on the Saturday, mistakes.
No, we've not mentioned referees yet.
No, we better warn Bridge.
Leaving the good parts to the end, I think.
I thought they wanted VAR done away with. They didn't want it done away with Saturday, did they?
No. And there's mistakes being made by players, officials, VAR officials. It just seems to be, and our players, we make mistakes, but it's always highlighted so much. And even as you made the point as well about the goals that we concede, other teams are conceding equally as bad goals as us, but it's just a case of waiting to have a pop at us. But as we said, Ox, we did bring it on ourselves with those 2 results in the league, and we just wanted the team to get over the line in those 2 games, and we've made things more difficult for us than what we thought they were perhaps going to be when you think about a month ago. But I'm trying to look at it more positively. We've got a good result on Sunday, and I'm hoping that the team will just reset, Ox, and as you say, they've got 5 cup finals plus a proper cup final to look forward to. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how it pans out. Bridge is right, spot on. The next game's the biggest game when we go away. Simon, and we need to go there with the right attitude and show that tempo and get in amongst it and make opportunities to score goals. And I'm sure if we make enough opportunities, we'll win the match. But anyway, Sunday will come about soon, Bridge. But overall, we're pleased with yesterday. The manager made a call that a lot of us didn't think he would make, Bridge, and so we've criticised him in the last 2 games, the manager. But we've got to say, in yesterday's performance, he got a lot right.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 for the manager, may I say. 10 out of 10 for the manager. And I was well pleased for him. I think everything he wanted to happen happened. And he's made sensible moves in the sort of substitutions and things like that. I thought his line-up's excellent. And I don't know what he said to Tavernier, but he's transformed Tav, that's for sure. Because Tavernier was going down a blind alley in his game. And I thought he had a great game. I thought Tav had a good game. The only problem I've got with Tav in his game at the moment is he wants to take everything. Unless the manager's told him and told the rest of the team, he's going to take all the free kicks and all the corners, because that's what it looked like. He was doing that, or wanting to do it. And that's that. But other than that, I think our manager, absolutely special. Absolutely special.
The free kick he hit yesterday, obviously he's done it for that distance before, but occasionally I think it'd be good to give somebody else somebody who takes a different kind of kick. Maybe just a power shot, if you like, Linda. Yeah, to see how it goes. But listen, Tav, with the pieces, got not a bad ratio, is he? With the free kicks.
Oh my goodness, he's been. Oh, sorry, I thought you were speaking to me.
No, carry on, but I should carry on.
Oh my goodness, he's been absolutely fantastic. His goals he scored for Rangers and the free kicks he takes and the penalties he takes. The guy's a phenomenon. That's a phenomenon for Rangers. But, like, how can I say it? That boy Cantwell can hit a ball. The other boy, what's his name? Oh, goodness sake.
Lawrence.
Lawrence. I always can never remember his name. He can hit a ball, and free kick wise, and so can Lundstrom, truth be told. But I don't think they've got the bend on the ball that Tav can do, and that's why he takes them. That's why he takes them, of course.
But there's times for a different free kick. Aye, he did a decent game yesterday. He's maybe on the right. The corners, that's a whole different debate, and I'm sure we'll mention that as maybe this show goes on and the rest of the week goes on. We still don't do enough, Linda, but free kicks, arguably Tav's on the right,
Okay, Ox, because you look at, as Brett said, he scored some crackers during his Rangers career, and quite crucial ones at that. I just thought yesterday he was more focused on the defensive side of his role, Ox. And what we've been saying as well is that sometimes he's getting caught too far up the park because he's always trying to influence the attacking play. And that's okay sometimes, but we've been crying out for somebody else to step into that and do things that will create goals. And that person yesterday was Todd Cantwell. And I would like to see more of that from the midfielder, so that Tav can focus, as I said, a wee bit more on his defensive stuff, if that makes sense, Ox.
I get it. But then if Tav was up the park, we might not have scored the first goal and it could have been a different game.
Well, maybe I mean nose far up the park. Maybe where he won the ball, because sometimes he's away up in the box and and he's getting caught out. I think it's a balance he needs to get, Ox.
He's missed Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack seem to have a sense when Ryan Jack was at peak his powers for our team that he moved in and covered for him, I don't think anybody else sniffed the danger. Maybe the same way, or maybe it's just that they worked well together. I don't know. But he's missed a fit Ryan Jack. And arguably the team's missed a fit Ryan Jack as well. Bridgeman,
Yeah, and before that, Candace. Remember, Candace used to do the same thing with him. Covered.
They had a good combination.
They were very good together. And like Tabs deserves a cover as well, because he is lethal from certain positions in the park, near the box and things like that. He is really lethal. And not bad passing the ball. So, however, I don't want to digress. I think he's great. There's time.
Let's just say his best game in 4 yesterday. Is that fair?
Oh yes, indeed.
Would that be fair, Linda?
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. And there's not a lot of other players you could say that about as well. It's just because Tav plays most of the games, most of the minutes, so he's there to be criticised. It's the same as the other members of this so-called leadership group. A lot of fans think John Lundstrom was lucky to start on Sunday as well, Ox, because of the performances he's been putting in. But I don't think the manager would have made any more. I don't think he would have dropped Golson and Lundstrom at the same time. But I think John played better, but he still gives the ball away, sometimes with not even any pressure on him, John Lundstrom.
Right, it's his mobility. It's his mobility in the position. He gets there at times and he's going, well, let's just see what happens. But I'll be surprised if John's ways in August. Just my opinion. Obviously, we put a wee story out there last week. We'll see what happens, see if it's true. But, right, we're slowly building up in a tune. But remember, this is a phone-in show. For this to work, we need you to phone in 0141 356 1972. Give us your thoughts. Are we fair? Man of the match? I think we'll get Bridgman's went for Cantwell. Linda went for. Did you go for Dessers, Linda?
Well, I didn't really give you my opinion.
Right.
I think I'm going to go with Bridge and give it to Cantwell too.
We agree with me now. Unbelievable.
Yes, Bridge.
Right, so I'll go for Dessers. So that's 1 vote each for you, and I get 3. So Dessers gets it.
Look, on Dessers, any player that scores 2 goals in a semi-final and gets us to the final, then you can't say too much about it. So
Then again, God, the jury scored a hat trick in a final, and it's called a Laudrup Cup.
I know.
He could have had a hat trick, couldn't he, Ox? Dessers, the one that he put past the post, he dragged it with the right foot, and you just thought, oh, come on, you know, Ali McCoist was very disappointed for him.
And
I
also,
thought he could have scored 4 or 5.
The one that he put in for Silva, McCoist is saying he's no passing that.
And he did.
Yeah, there's no way McCoist passing the end 2 goals.
You're not going back to talk about Silva, are you?
No, I'm saying that Dessers maybe done the right thing, but what Ali was saying was in that situation with a minute to go or whatever it was, 2 minutes to go, he's running through 2-0 up, the game's pretty deep, there's no way he's passing it, he's shooting for a hat-trick, yeah?
You would think, wouldn't you? You would think, yeah.
Oh, well, Ali would have, wouldn't he?
But I'm saying you'd think it, yeah, most folk would, you know. Centre-forwards are generally greedy, you know. And I know what he did, the pass he made.
That's a bit unfair. I've seen you at a buffet.
But no, the pass he made, nice pass, and perfect for me. Everybody thought it was a perfect pass. And how that boy missed it.
Let's not go there again.
Please.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Stuart. Evening, Stuart.
Evening, guys. Linda, how you doing?
Evening, Stuart.
Hi,
evening. Hi. Just come in there, I just thought I'd give you a quick buzz just to know my views on the game yesterday.
On you go.
I'm still a bit undecided. It was okay with one. I'm happy with that. I thought did quite good. I was a bit concerned at times with Suter. See, when he gets the ball, because he's not a naturally left-sided player, it just gives me the fear sometimes, you know, and he got caught out a couple of times. I think he's a bit of a butcher at times. And
we said that before you came in. He had a mad 15 minutes, Stuart.
It just worries me a wee bit. And the other one, like say Silva, I don't know if we're playing him out of position. He's obviously got something. They paid 35 mil for him, but I think he tries too hard. He's trying to impress all the time.
I don't know what position he has to play in. That one that happened yesterday, I don't think that's any deep position. I just think that was comedy gold, Stuart, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I've looked half a dozen times and I come up with half a dozen different answers of what he was trying to do. Yeah, it's like one of the ones when you were a bear and you stood on your laces. You know what I mean? If your lace was undone, I thought it was something stupid like that, because it's got to be something stupid. I mean, it was just absolutely bonkers. But saying that, I obviously see something in him in training, you know. But and I heard Linda just talking about Lundstrom there. I don't know. I just think some of his passing, and if you do that against a better team, a Betis or a Sparta Prague or a team that's got to punish you, you'll be punished. And we've been punished already this season and last season. So a wee bit mindful of that, you know. So I'm a bit kind of, although we won, happy, but I'm still a bit concerned. I would rather see, it's a bold move what he did, Balogun, and it's not a bold move, but you're looking for some kind of change. But to put Sterling in midfield, can't it be any worse than Lundstrom? He's got more power. I mean, you see what Sterling was doing on the wing with that guy. He was ripping him off, he was twisting him. He's got to be playing midfield, that boy, honestly. Any game for me. And I think Linda said before about filling a space at left back with somebody. I don't know. If we're taking the heat out of midfield, we're maybe not needing the left back as much, but we've got to patch it up somewhere. But patching it up at left back's a better idea than try to patch it in midfield. That's my view.
First of all, I want Sterling to be in the team. I think he's earned the right, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Stuart, it's just trying to find a place for him, and he's filling in and he's doing a really good role there at left back. And we don't know about Ridvan. I mean, there's another injury that we were told it wasn't very serious and he would be back quite soon. And is that, how many games is that? 4 or 5 games he's missed now. I think the manager said he was out training on his own. He's back on the pitch, but I would like to see him back. But I still think that Sterling is covering well, and perhaps he's playing him there as well, because if we're looking ahead, I know we're only taking one game at a time, but you know, you just get him experience in there on the basis, Stuart, that maybe Ridvan isn't going to make it back anytime soon?
I think so. I mean, I think that's probably the case. But you just feel something's needing to change a wee bit, just to give us that wee bit, lift us out the doldrums a bit, which that game did us yesterday, aye. But we've got to kind of go again, re-galvanise. I'm glad we've got a week off this time to really get the focus on it. So it's got to be interesting. It's got to be interesting. I didn't feel he'll be back for the St Mirren game. I just get that feeling. And as you say, Barisic doesn't do much for me either. So we're kind of running on a wee bit, no empty, but we're running low. We see what happened with him. I mean, he's got to be out, probably, I would imagine. So, I mean, McCausland did okay. I'd prefer Sima in that role for the next games. He puts the fear into people with his power and his size.
He's not got that asset and the power and the pace that Sima's got, is he?
No. It looks good, but it just looks a bit light, and he's got good feet, the ball at his feet, and the way he comes in. But I don't. Maybe it's because he's not played for a wee while. He looked a bit indecisive. Where Sima could be indecisive, but it's a bit like Ted McMahon. The ball seems to break for him, it bounces about, and he'll get a break of the ball. But he gets the break of the ball because he's always trying, and it'll break for him sometimes. Like that goal against Celtic, the way he just hit it in the net. If you didn't try, you're not going to score.
You think you're better being lucky than good?
Sometimes, aye.
For our younger listeners, like myself, Ted McMahon was a winger who was unpredictable, who played for Rangers in the mid-80s. Right.
I still running down the Copeland Road, I think, but somebody's need to tell him that the game was there an hour ago. You know what I mean? That was Ted McMahon. I could mind him anyway.
Well before my time.
Who are you kidding?
Bridge will know who he is. Bridge went to school with him.
He knows who he is. Don't kid it, little kid.
I know that. I know. Everybody knows who Ted McMahon is. But everybody knows who Sibo is. Put it that way. I all know your history.
Maybe off air, I'll tell you the story about me and Ted McMahon.
Cult hero. Listen, Ken, you've got cult heroes. You've got Dessers is a bit of a kind of anti-cult hero type of thing. Because of his attitude and his love for the club and the way he gets up and plays on again, he's becoming a bit of a cult hero.
If he'd have scored half a dozen men of their chances, yeah, Linda.
Aye.
Well, to be honest, how many chances do you think he had? He's had maybe 20 real good chances. Yeah. If he'd have scored half a dozen of them, if you're sitting with 25 goals, people would have still been saying the same. You could have had more. But 25 goals, you start heading towards that 30 mark, you think, great return. As we sit this now with 19, most years you'd be saying that's okay, maybe get another half a dozen between now and the end of the season, 25. Yeah, but it could have been, it should have had a minimum half a dozen more goals.
Yeah, and I think it's important chances he's missed as well in games that might have got us like a victory, Ox. And you think about, for example, that Ross County game, we had a couple of real great chances, and that's the difference between picking up, points. He should have had an Old Firm goal, that's one that he needs to try and get going forward, albeit I don't really care who scores as long as we win, as long as we beat them. But you think about that one to get chalked off, Ox, when they take it back for the foul that's happened, arguably
2 years ago.
Yeah, so but there on Sunday, he's this criticism, does he score goals in big games? He scored away against Benfica. That was a big goal for the club, and that was 2 big massive goals for us on Sunday. So maybe he's got that kind of off his back now, Ox. That's crucial goals. And
I think you meant Betis there, the goal scored against Betis.
Sorry, Betis, what did I say?
It was a good goal. It was a good goal, wasn't it? It was a good goal.
What did I say, Ox?
Benfica, it's easy done.
Benfica,
easy done.
sorry.
You're close.
Betis, yes.
They're
Betis.
A slight exaggeration.
They're both in the Iberian Peninsula.
They're not exactly the same country, though, are they?
No, I know, but they're not far away from each other, are they? You know what I mean?
But I think you're right, Ox. Another half a dozen goals, and I think we would be a bit happier with them. But aye, he's had another at least 20 chances, you're right.
Aye. Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. I'll come back to Stuart on that point. Get yourself in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard. We've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Team in football, with Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Successful team in football, with Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
As mad as it could have seen, we could have been sitting. Gosh, there was 30 goals easily. Yeah. Wonder, yeah.
Yeah, he could have walked, absolutely. But as you say, he works hard and he tries to do the right things. And who knows, maybe he could knock a few more goals in before the end of the season.
Yep.
And you know.
Yep. Listen, if we can keep a clean sheet when that's game of Hampden and he scores 2 goals, he'll go down in folklore. Stuart?
Absolutely. I mean, definitely. You've got thinking back to the Ross County game when he missed a couple of chances, which was bad enough, 1-1-0. But the defence and midfield was absolutely shocking in that game. I mean, was he the worst guy on the day? We're all looking for him to bail us out. If he had got that second goal, that would have been it. That's what we're saying. That's what everybody's saying. But if the defence hadn't let these stupid goals in, we were a 1-1-0, and it wouldn't have been talked about as much. So, I mean, I'm not defending him to the hilt, He could have had 25 goals, probably more like 30 goals, to be honest with you, the amount of chances he's missed.
Aye, easy.
And you just hope that Clement could get into his head, because he's got to be with us next year unless somebody puts in an offer for him, which I doubt. But I think he could buckle down and kind of make... He's no better in the half. He's like Balogun. He's a gentleman. Sits there and he takes it. He's had a lot of stick. He takes it. A bit like Tav. Tav takes it, and Tav had a good game at the weekend. He made that goal with determination. He's running out of steam a wee bit, but he still showed a wee bit there. So I'm still optimistic about the season. I really am. I'm still optimistic. I just hope we could sort of push on to here, Ken, rather than go back the way.
It could be the catalyst, Linda. The springboard, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, there's been lots of chat about the players and what brought on the kind of poor performances there. Their confidence, they looked as if they were hiding in the games. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand that, because you're in a really great position. You've got it all in your own hands. But we just made mistakes at crucial times. But it is a chance for them to reset, and let's hope they take a bit of confidence now going forward. And it's one game at a time. And, Ox, you've just got to do what you can, haven't you? You've got to just look after yourself and see what happens.
So you were going to start singing there, Lena?
That's way before
try to get that song there, aye.
Cheating and stealing, violence and crime. You know all about that, Bridge.
Aye, indeed.
You're showing your age now, Ox.
His mum learned them.
His mum,
Yes. Yes, one game at a time. Aye, that's always been your mantra, Bridge.
Yes, indeed. Always. The next game is always the most important, because we've got to win it. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time,
You can learn. You can learn from the previous game, but you can't influence it because it's gone.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. But I know guys look forward, and they say it's good and it helps people out. They can think through. I don't look further than the next game. That's just massive for me. The next game is massive, and sometimes it's only 2 or 3 days for your next game, And when I was playing football, I just loved playing football, and I didn't like the training. I hated training to the greatest sense in the word, but because you're playing midweek and the cup games at the weekend or whatever, you keep your fitness up dead easy. 2 games a week is great.
Training.
Oh.
Right. Listen, I'll tell you what we do. We've talked about the team, we've went through the players, and we'll just hear. We've never heard it yesterday. We just want to get the managers' take on this. So it's about 9 minutes. Make sure you put yourselves on mute, and let's hear from your manager, Philippe Clement.
Philip, congratulations! Another Hampden final to look forward to.
Yeah, and everybody's really excited about that. I hear now that it's 22 years ago that it was a Scottish Cup final with the Old Firm, so I think it will be a big rush for tickets and for people who want to do a lot to be at that game.
After a tough week, how pleasing is it for you?
Of course, it's pleasing is maybe not a good word. It's what I expected. It's what I demanded. It's what I wanted. It's what I knew I would get of the team also. So I was totally not pleased about Ross County, about the game, where we lost our structure, where we lost our normal football. Against Dundee, we were too much in a rush to score the goal, and we lost some overview, and today we found the right balance again. What we've been doing for a lot of months, but yeah, it's been challenging last couple of months with all the injuries and players in and out in that way, and lacking rhythm also, coming out of injuries. So today again, if you see the bench, it's stronger again. So that's going to be important. The next couple of weeks we will have 1 game a week. We were, before this cup semi-final, the only team who played during the week. It makes a difference because you need to look at that. If you have 3 games in 7-8 days, and you have players coming out of injury, you cannot let them play all the minutes. So it's been a puzzle around that. And now in this last part of the season, it's going to be a really challenge in the squad with players coming back, that the quality rises in the training and that the quality rises in the game also, because you have a strong bench.
Do you feel a result like that can do a lot for the players' confidence?
No, it doesn't work that way. If the confidence is not there, you cannot play like that. So the confidence stayed there. The players took the results on the chin. We all took. We were disappointed about that. We took the right conclusions, and we did the better things with and without the ball today than against Dundee, and for sure than against Ross County. And like this, we're back where we want to be.
Philippe, scoring early today seemed to settle the players down, whereas in the last couple of games, you've, if not conceded goals, you've conceded early chances to the opposition, where today pretty much dominated too early on.
Yeah, that's a little bit story of the chicken and the egg. Eh? What was first? So, no, they started with the right mentality. They wanted to score fast. We put a lot of attention to that, but I did that the same way in Ross County. And we did it. And we showed more composure on the ball. Also, having players back like Diomande helps a lot. He got injured against Celtic, and we missed him. Also with other players coming back out of injury and missing that rhythm, that played okay games but not at their best level yet. So you need to take all these things in account and not throwing everything in the garbage. You need to look also at the circumstances, and that's what we did, and that's what the players did, and that's why they had confidence also in what we're going to do today against a really good team, because all the credits also to Hearts, who are playing a really good season, who have taken a lot of points, who are deserve to be in third position. So playing that way against the third best team in the league, that's a very important thing for the next couple of weeks.
You had to replace Abdallah Sima early on. How is he?
I don't know yet, so we will make that assessment tomorrow or the day after. So I hope it's not too bad, but the doc didn't speak with me about that, and I know out of experience you cannot make this assessment now, so it will be tomorrow or the day after.
Finally for me then, Cyriel Dessers, a player who maybe went into the game lacking confidence. I know you didn't start him on Wednesday night, he'd missed an awful lot of opportunities. What will these 2 goals today do for him, do you feel?
No, people see these things totally wrong. And that's what I try to explain, but I know it's difficult. If you're a fan or a journalist, you don't know all the circumstances or how decisions are made. But Cyriel, first you have the story that Danilo get a really severe injury and will be out for all season. So he's out for months already. So before, Cyriel and Dani were alternating and both playing. We get Fabio into the building, but we needed Fabio last couple of weeks, last months also on the wings, because we had a lot of injuries there. And Cyriel played a lot of minutes. So look at all the top teams in the world, all the teams that play that many games that we are playing. There's a lot of alternation with the offensive players, because you need this freshness, you need this to show your quality. If you don't have this freshness, everything goes a little bit slower and you don't create the chances anymore. So that's the reason also why I didn't start with Cyriel on Wednesday. Kemar is also somebody who's been out really long time and several times the last couple of years, so he's lacking also rhythm. So it's all the time making this puzzle, when to use who, and because of that, Cyriel was more fresh today, and he could show his quality more than when you are tired. If you play every 3 days and you give that much effort also for the team, because he's somebody who's working really honest and really hard for the team with and without ball.
Philippe, Leon Balogun came back into the squad today. He was excellent. Many people say that he was man of the match today. Is that giving you a bit of a headache going forward?
No, it's not a headache, maybe, but a nice one, like I had in the beginning when I came in, because we had at that moment 4 really good centre backs, with Connor, with John, with Leon and Ben. Ben's been injured also a long time. He's coming back now. Misses also game rhythm. Connor did a massive job last couple of months. We've been the best defense, but he looked a little bit tired for me last week. So my idea was to let Leon play on Wednesday to give Connor a breather. But Leon became sick then. So again, circumstances where you need to adapt. So yeah, I know the quality of these 4 guys. I know they're gonna push next couple of weeks to be in the team. And if I can have more headaches like that in all the positions, then I'm sure we're gonna be really successful next couple of weeks also with all squad.
We spoke on the press conference on Friday about passing and moving the ball. I thought that Mohamed Diamande was fantastic at not only using the ball but actually positioning himself just for wee short, sharp passing, which made a huge difference to how Rangers not only started but kept going. And sometimes when a player comes out of a team, you don't realise what he's given you, and I think many people maybe seen that today from Mohamed.
No, for sure, and it's a good assessment you make. That's why also it's a really big credit towards recruitment team, because without budget, finding somebody with his qualities in January, it's a huge task. A young player, I said also from the beginning, this will not be his last stop. He will go higher up. So he's somebody with a lot of quality, but a lot of mentality also, a lot of personality also, to do the right things on the field. So yes, we missed him last couple of weeks after the Celtic game. And it's also because other players like Tom Lawrence, Kieran Dowell, Nico Raskin were guys who came out of injury and like rhythm, because they did also a really good job before. So I'm looking forward now to these last weeks of the season that everybody's going to compete for spots in the team, to start, to be on the bench, to be in the squad. So I'm looking forward to that everybody's going to push in all squad, and then our level's going to rise again. It works like that.
Compliment him on that, because obviously asked about Golson, and the phrase was, that it was used about Golson being dropped, and the manager was quick to say that it was more about resting him. He's played a lot of minutes, and obviously we said earlier that Balogun might have played midweek, but he was ill. So an honest assessment, and I know he came under a wee bit of criticism because after what he said with the Dundee game, but he's not going to throw his players under a bus, absolutely not. But quite a lot of interesting things, and this whole thing about juggling players, all these players coming back from injury, it's not an excuse, Ox, it's just a fact. What he's had to do has been quite remarkable, I think.
He likes a puzzle. He likes a puzzle, Bridge. He likes a puzzle, Dessers, Philip. And obviously, if you've got everybody fit and you're not going to worry about the minutes, the puzzle's easier, Bridge.
Yeah, I think our manager's done a tremendous job in dealing with the press and giving honest, what he sees as honest, and we probably see it as well, as him being very honest. Sometimes the press just mull over and things, think, it's just rubbish, and he's just talking a lot of crap. What's that effect? I think the man's as honest as a day. And as far as I'm concerned, he'll be our manager, and he's going to take us make us a lot stronger next season. That is for sure than we are at the moment. And a lot of that's down to the injury that we received way back. 9 months ago, injuries. And that's what we're dealing with at the moment. When you mentioned Diallo there, goodness sake, that boy's been battered through pillar to post during this season. However, forget the injuries. I'm just so happy. The manager sounded great, positive, and looking forward to the rest of the season. And so am I.
Anyway, Stuart's back ways all right, mate?
Aye, good. I don't know what happened there. It just cut off.
No, we're playing interviews or music. You need to put your phone on mute, mate, so people don't...
Oh, right, okay.
All right, carry on, mate.
Very
honest, yeah.
Aye, no, I mean, I was listening to Big Phil there. Happy with what he's saying. I mean, Diamandi, really missed him. He makes a difference in midfield for me, just as a kind of linchpin type of person. But again, we've been unlucky with injury. I mean, look at Simo on international duty, Ridvan, two big key players for us as well. So, just a bit frustrating that side of it. But going on to his other player, Cortez, again, he just had a wee tweak at, I think it was Rugby Park, yeah? And he's been we've just been a bit unlucky, I think. And it's kind of manifested itself into Ross County game and maybe the Motherwell game a bit. And he's kind of brought them back again. I mean, they've kind of went down, he's lifted them back up again. So he's obviously got that motivational thing. And he's not lost the dressing room. If he had lost the dressing room, they wouldn't have won that game yesterday. So he's galvanised them again, giving them a wee kind of pat of Doug's head, boot his backside at the same time. And hopefully that's the case for the next 6 games.
I get what you're saying about the Dundee game. We weren't 6s and 7s, but we just never looked like scoring. Where at Ross County, for that period after a half time, we were at 6s and 7s, Linda.
Yeah, Oxen, the Ross County game he was talking about, there was just no structure. They had lost their structure. But against Dundee, he was right. We were slightly better in that regard. We weren't conceding a lot of chances, albeit they nearly scored in the first minute of the game. That was just an absolute lack of concentration. But they didn't play well against Dundee, and I think fans just wanted them to maybe acknowledge the fact that the performance needed to be better. But it's hard for the manager because he's coming in just after the game. He's trying to get his sort of emotions and his thoughts in check, isn't he? But definitely they look better again yesterday. And it is, as I said, it's all these players having to play what he's saying is perhaps out of position or not in their preferred position. And it's just a matter of, looking at who's fit and trying putting out a team box that's going to win you the game. And sometimes it's just not as easy as that, is it?
No. No, if it was that easy, Southside would get you Super 6 up every week. Some interesting comments on that front this week, I thought. Yeah, I don't know if you followed the live text.
No, I didn't hear. Was it funny?
I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. Bridgeman finds it funny.
I find all of it hilarious, actually. You guys running commentary from you. Oh, look at this. Oh, well done. No, next week's okay. Brilliant. I love it.
Oh dear. It was close. Well, it was nearly close. Poor Big Southside. He takes it well. Anyway, Stuart, there was some positives yesterday. Diamandi coming back. Dessers getting 2 goals. The Balogun coming back into the team. All these are positives. Then the negatives. Obviously, Sima, the man 15 minutes for John Suter. And hopefully, Dijon Sterling's okay as well when he went off the park. I seen him holding his leg and I'm hoping that he's all right. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you just want but I'm wanting Balogun and Diamandi to be okay. I mean, Carlos Eneretu, as you say, Sterling, I think it's got to be okay. It didn't look too distressed, if you like. Sima, you could see, because it was so early, Sima, I was a bit kind of frustrated with it all. I was a bit worried about that. I'd have loved to see him back. If we could have got Ridvan back to kind of shore up the defence a bit, and it gives a wee bit more of an attacking option. Maybe it's a bit, I'm not faulting Sterling at left back. What he did a couple of times in the second half, pushing these guys aside, getting to the bylines, it's amazing, really, for the type of guy he is. You know what I mean? He's virtually a right back midfielder type of thing, playing on the line, So I'm just hoping that we could sort of just get a wee bit of a break for this last 6 game with injury wise, and something else happened to the other side. But you know why the big things is I take for the weekend? I look at the other game, and it just shows you how to play against them in midfield, with pressing a certain person. And that makes a big difference. So if we can take something like that on board, Cantwell, I thought, had a really good game. He's got that energy. But the only thing that worries me about Cantwell is when he runs about, he might get booked to start with, and then it kind of kills his game a bit. So we've got to worry about that a wee bit.
Aye, man. Listen, they'll obviously target him and try and wind him up, because that's what they do to disrupt him. Because they appreciate he's a good player. I thought Cantwell at times yesterday was excellent. Yeah, you know, considering how poor he was against Dundee, if I'm honest, Stuart.
Aye. I mean, you know what? I think Clement's getting a bit kind of the hang of the parks. I mean, Ross County, Dundee Park, they weren't good playing surfaces. A bit bobbly, just no kind of like Ibrox or some of the other decent parks that's going about. And I think that has a big impact on likes of Cantwell, Tyke Park, folk bashing into the back of you all the time. He's getting used to that style of football. And if he could sort of distance himself with that and just measure himself a wee bit. I mean, I remember it was a deep rubber Rangers Celtic game last season. Cantwell was sort of pressing McGregor, taking the ball off him all the time. And that's the kind of game we should be playing against all teams. At that high end of the park, you know.
We need to play with a bit of pace and a bit of intensity. What do you make of Diamande, Bridgeman? What's your thoughts on him?
I think Diamande's a star. He's a diamond, excuse the pun. But he really is. I think he's a marvellous player. And once he gets used to the Scottish game, because sometimes it takes a bit longer to get used to. And I think he plays a really good game. As a super midfielder for me. I can't see he's not playing with him. He'll be a big star for us, I'm sure of it.
The manager seems to rate him one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, Ox. He's mentioned that a few times about the fact that he'll go on to play in a more competitive league. He'll, as we always say, you don't get many clubs that are bigger than Rangers, but the quality of the league. He'll probably play in a more competitive league going forward.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Linda. You've just brought up something right into my head. Albert, right? The man's a legend, right? But enough about his sex life, right? Right. Albert always says we're the only team in Scotland that people turn up against, right, to watch and play. And you thought, is that true? Right. Aberdeen. 8,000 tickets for a semi-final. How many do you think would have wanted if it was us that was playing?
50-50.
Yeah, there you go. Say no more. Carry on with your original point. Albert, spot on again.
Aye, well done, Albert. He's got that spot on. Ox, as I said, the manager's said that a couple of times since Diamande came in, that he'll go on and play in a top league. Or one of the top leagues. As I said, he'll not play for a bigger club than Rangers because, as we know, the pressure that's here, the fans, everything about our club. I don't think players realise how big a club Rangers is until you sign for them. You know, a lot of players do say that. I think he's made a good impression.
I wonder what Kent and Morelos think, Wanda.
Sorry, Ox?
I wonder what Kent and Morelos think now.
Yes, well, there you go. Let's face it, Ox, they could still be here if they'd signed those contracts that were on the table for them. Ironically, and then they were taken away from them because their performances were poor. But no, I think Diamande, when he came in, he scored a couple of goals as well, Ox. I would like to see him, start to maybe chip in with a couple of goals too. And I think folk were wondering why he wasn't playing, because of the thumb injury. But I think it was in a cast, Ox, to begin with, and he wasn't allowed to play. So it was good to have him back. And yeah, I think he could be a really important player in the run-in here.
He's definitely got something about him. Yeah, he's going to give us a few scary moments because he likes to take risks. But when that works, it's an asset. Right, last half hour of the show. Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Phone in. We'll get back to you. Bring you right into the call when you can use any opinion on yesterday's match or then you want to talk about Rangers related. Stuart, what's your Diamande? We've seen him now for a few games. He's definitely got something about him. He's young, he's still learning his trade. Definitely got big potential.
Absolutely. No, I mean, what I like about him is his awareness. As soon as he gets the ball, he kens what he's got to do. I'm going to compare him to somebody. I was watching it on YouTube the other day. It come up with Ronaldinho. The way the ball sort of come to him, and he just turned away from the guy. The guy was left like, God, where is this guy? And he's away making the move, spraying out to the left or the right. Okay, and he's not at that level, but I'm just saying the way he can turn and move away quickly to a player. He's got 2 or 3 yards on a player. He does make a mistake, and I know he lost the ball a couple of times, but he's a young guy and he's improving for me each game. What I also like about him is if he's on the edge of the box, he'll briefly control it and just hit it in the one kind of movement, which obviously he scored his first goal for us like that. Because if you watch that hour again, you think he's got to take another touch, but he doesn't. He sort of just kind of half rolls it and then hits it in one movement. That's a hard thing to do as well. So I think he's got all the attributes, and he's kind of, you can see him growing into the game. And for me, he's one of the, if we could keep him fit for the next 6 games, I'll be really, really happy with the midfield. And the striker, and that'll look after the cell and the defence. He's the key man for me, absolutely.
Key man. And
worth a fortune in maybe a year and a bit's time.
Big praise indeed. Big praise indeed. Bridgeman.
You want Diamande? Is it Diamande?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I've already said about Diamande, and I think he's a cracking player, and he played really, really well at the weekend. And as far as I'm concerned, Rangers have got a wee star. Really, a diamond in the rough, as they say. And when he gets his foot under the table, I think he's going to shine big for us. There are times, there's only a couple of times when you see he lets himself down with his passing. And that's maybe just down to decision making. Sometimes the decision making, when you're in top form, decision making is absolutely brilliant and everything comes off. But sometimes, if you're not 100%, you start to anticipate things that aren't there, and you push the ball back to a person or forward to a person. It would have been a nice pass if it had been a good player there, that kind of thing. And it goes loose, and that causes a change of the possession, and we end up getting attacked at that point.
Yeah, I can only see him improving and getting more experience, and hopefully we'll get a right good asset in my hands. Obviously, if he is that good a player and develops in that good a player, I want him to be us as long as possible. But there's a sense of realism in there, Linda, as well, yeah?
Yeah, and he kind of fits the bill in terms of this kind of player trading model that we hear them talking about so much, isn't he, Ox? He's, the fact that his age and, he's going to develop even more at our club under a good manager, and then we sell him at the right time so that we can bring some money in and we make quite a good profit. I don't know, is it 4 million that's been quoted that we're going to be paying in the summer for him, Ox? I don't know if it's any more than that. But if you think about going forward, as I said, he kind of fits the profile, and I don't think Clement would talk him up like that if he didn't believe in it, because he's not really one for doing that with players, I don't think.
Aye. I think the other thing I know that he seems another nice kid, and we're going to need a blend in there, Linda. Yeah, we can't have everybody being a nice kid.
No, I know, Ox, and there's been a lot of chat about Lundstrom and this whole contract saga with him, and I don't know if you heard, but I understand the manager was asked about it again at the weekend, and he seemed quite confident that Lundstrom was going to be signing a new contract.
We'll see.
Are you happy with that, Linda?
I'm not sure. I was kind of undecided, Bridge, but the way he performed in the Ross County and the Dundee game, I didn't think we should be giving him a new contract. But
yeah, I have to say I would agree with you there. Yeah. It was absolutely abysmal. Yeah. But I think his performance in the semi-final, I thought was outstanding. Really, truly.
Talking about outstanding, Bridge, we've been joined by Bob Ger. Evening, Bob Ger.
Bob Ger, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. How are we this evening?
Good evening.
It's like man and star.
Oh, aye. Nice to hear you, I don't think we played outstandingly well yesterday, but we were steady enough and won the game quite easy in the end. But all I'm hearing all day when I was up the tune and people were talking blaring about the football, that how poor Hearts were. Hearts were made to look poor. I thought so anyway. And at the end of the day, Rangers, according to a lot of them, Rangers have not got any right to win. Thing is, we're in the cup final. That's an all-firm final. Let's get G'd up for it. Let's go and let's win it. And before that, let's try our damnedest to win the league.
Well, the haters have got to hate. Simple as that.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry?
The haters have got to hate.
Aye.
But, Bob, we sort of gave us roughly 7.5 out of 10. We weren't great, but we were competent. We should have won by more.
We should have won by more. I mean, God, we could have won before. We could have won by 4 or 5 easy in the under end. And that's not your fault they never turned up. That's their problem. I mean, we in Naismith made his mouth go in the press and the media about what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do, and they never turned up and never done it. And in the end, they were overwhelmed. Rangers weren't out of second gear, simple as. So let's hope we can hit a bit of form in this league, get that, hit a bit of form in the cup final and do the treble. That's what we're all hoping for, eh?
Yeah, Linda?
Yeah, absolutely, Bob Ger. I think that Sunday's game was just a wee boost that we needed, Bob Ger, because it was an awful week for everybody, wasn't it?
It was terrible, Linda.
Wasn't it? And you were just thinking, you know, as you say, they had a lot to say in the press, Hearts, particularly the manager, about how we'd been playing and players being at the club that haven't gone on to win trophies in the past and stuff. I thought it was quite bizarre for him to come out and be talking about that. I just don't see, Clement doing that about another team. So hopefully that was a wee bit of motivation for them as well. But I just thought that we played really well, Bob Ger, and I don't think Hearts were as poor as what people are making out. They had a couple of chances, and our goalkeeper made a few good saves. Butland, had a couple of good saves as well, Bob Ger.
Well, for a good season against them, Linda, that's every time out we'll beat them. And we've got to play them one more time at Tynecastle on the last day of the season. And let's hope the situation prevails that we'll go to do it again. Or maybe we'll be champions at that time, you don't know.
And therein lies the problem with Scottish football, Bob Ger. That'll be 6 times we've played Hearts this season, eh?
Absolutely. Aye. Oh, aye. Something needs to be readdressed. For us, we've all talked about it. They were, pardon the pun, blue in the face. And if the hierarchy can't come up with anything, what chance is mere mortals like us got to coming up with anything? You're right, Oaks. That's half a dozen times we'll played them. And hopefully half a dozen times we'll beat them. Obviously, I want Rangers to win every game. But it's a ridiculous amount of times to play a team. Aye. Cup competition and all the rest of it. That'll be 5 times we'll played Celtic.
Aye. Also.
So, So, hey-ho, has any news on Seema's injury?
We've not anything through, Bob Ger. Nothing, not any snippets are in yet. Obviously, they've all had the day off unless you've had to go in for some treatment. So he said he said the press conference either be Monday or Tuesday. So watch your space. We might pick up some more. Hopefully it's good news, mate.
I hope so. I didn't like the hamstrings injury. They tend to be long. I'm not telling you straight.
If he's got a hamstring coming back for injury, I would say that's his season done, mate. You're not getting him back in a few weeks, eh?
No, they tend to be long-term things.
If it has went, you never know. It might just be needs a bit of rest for a few days. Stuart, they'll be fine. But if it is something's went, tear or pull, you're not seeing him this season. I don't think, yeah.
Because you need him. He's a big, powerful boy, and he can hurt folk. So.
I agree.
Anyway, hey-ho.
When you come, Stuart.
I know. I mean, it was a bit of a worry. But I'm also worried about the others. I mean, the right-hand side, you've got Seema, you've got McCausland. Seema, obviously, but McCausland could do a job. But the other side worries me. You've got Silva, Matondo, and I'm not rating any of the two of them at the minute. I just feel we're weak on that side. Nothing's happening. I've seen Matondo run the ball at one point, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is he doing? He's got pace, bit of ball aside him, and give him a run for his money. But I just don't know. He's not a starter. He's maybe coming on for the last 20 minutes type of guy at the minute. But who else are you putting there? I mean, who have we got? You know, we're really toiling. I've been scratching my head. He's Stick Dowell there. He's not really.
I don't think he's that type of player. You know, but you
I know.
Needs must, but Linda made a point. I think just before you came on about Matondo, I don't know if I'm picking you up right. She thinks that maybe he's best coming off the bench as an influencer, as a modern trend does this now, rather than a starter. Does that make sense, Stuart?
Aye, no, that's what I said. Aye, definitely. He seems to, I don't know, it frustrates you. You know, he's got pace and he could dribble a wee bit and cutting inside and stuff like that. I just didn't feel he makes enough sort of advantage yet, really. Tends to stick to really on the line, so it's going out, it's coming in. And all the boy needs to do is stick his foot out, hits off him, for a shy. He's not really doing what he should be doing, coming inside. And when Ridvan was there, it helped him. He maybe come inside, Ridvan went outside, or Ridvan went outside. There was a lot of interchanging there going on when Ridvan was in the game. So Ridvan makes a massive, massive difference to that left-hand side. Whoever's playing there benefits the Ridvan creating that space. We're coming inside. It makes options. But with Barisic, it's all Barisic gets it. It's either back the way or down the line. Hits it down the line to Matondo. He's going nowhere because there's no space created. Ridvan creates that space. So let's hope that Ridvan's back.
Here's a question for you. When was the last time Matondo influenced a game as a starter?
God almighty, I wouldn't know.
It's a fair comment, Linda, huh?
Yeah.
European game?
I was just about to say that. One of the European games, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can remember at the start of the season against St Johnstone when we won 4-0. That's as far as I can remember him in a good start. Most
of these good performances, and obviously the Hibs and the Celtic game, the goals as a substitute, big moments, Linda, huh?
Yeah, I think there was one game. I was at the game, and I don't know if he was going to. He started, and he was about to be taken off, I think, with the manager, and he scored a goal. It might have been Aberdeen when we won 2-1. He scored in that game. I think Cantwell got the second Ox. I think that was maybe February. But no, as I said earlier, I think he's more an impact player. And he's got these really brilliant moments, and then, as we said there, in Sunday, he's running through, and you want him just to hit the ball first time, and he runs it off the back line. But do you know what? Abbey could have a big say going forward if he maybe makes a super sub appearance, Ox.
Aye. We wish him well, and hopefully he gets back in. And also, the manager's also mentioned that all these players are coming back for injury. Bob Gia.
Aye, well, I heard them saying that yesterday in his press interview. He was going on about people coming back for injury, but he's also got people going out on injury, so it's a sort of a catch-22 situation for him. As I say, their Seema got hurt yesterday, and just hope that the squad we've got now can stay injury-free to the end of the season. Because, God, we're going to need everybody with the programme we've got coming up. We've got the most difficult part of the season coming up. We're going to need everybody fit and raring to go. Whether they're an impact player or a starter or what, we're just going to need everybody fit.
Can I ask you a question, Bob J?
Yes, sir. Anything you want, Rich.
Is there any other team that a tougher run in at the end of the season?
Any other teams that are what, sorry?
No, is there any other team got a tougher run into the season, to the end of the season, than Rangers?
No. Definitely no.
Strange that.
Definitely no. 3 away and 2 home.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Just couldn't. You're absolutely right. You just couldn't.
You couldn't make it up.
No.
Right, okay. Right, so it was a decent weekend for us after the criticism. Deserved criticism, Linda, let's be honest, but you've got to praise the team for the way they bounced back on Sunday if you just take Sunday in isolation, eh?
Yeah, Ox, and I think we're fairly honest when we come to critiquing the games, If the team are playing poorly, we'll say so, and you've got to give them a bit of praise when they actually pick themselves up and they get the victory. We needed that as a fan base, because I think if we'd gone out of the cup, I think it would have been a huge blow for us, and you wonder if they would have been able to recover from that as well, because they obviously don't go out and play deliberately poorly, against Ross County and Dundee, but they just didn't turn up. But as I say, they kind of owed themselves and us a performance on Sunday, and they've done that. They've got us to a cup final, and we've just got to take one game at a time now.
Aye, I thought the fans were excellent yesterday, Stuart.
Aye, no, I mean, they're always there. They're always there for the team. Let's be honest about it. They're always galvanising them. So we kind of take it for granted. Expect it, take it for granted, what you like. I've got a couple of points to make. I mean, that Dundee debacle, twice postponed, and all the interviews and travelling up there, I think that got into their heads a wee bit before the Ross County game. I don't know. There was something just wrong with that Ross County game.
I'm not having that, mate. I know. Aye, I know. But what I'm saying is, they're highly paid, pampered professionals, mate, who'd a trip to St Andrews and back, that people from all over the world, it's on their bucket list, right? Obviously, the Dundee thing that was picked up. Yeah, it was the Ross County game was on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days later. I'm not having it, mate. Personally.
I know. I'm just trying to find a reason for it, to be honest with you.
Just me. I'm not having it. But I don't know what you think, Bob Jack.
Stuart, I'll take your point, mate. You're a blue nose just at the rest of us, but the point was we didn't turn up. We didn't play well at Ross County. We didn't defend well, and we didn't take your chances, and we got beat. It's as simple as that. And if you get beat, as you well know, sir, you have just got to move on and try the best in the next fixture. I'll take your point where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, all the. I'm not going to use a bad word. I've never had a yellow card on Rangers Radio. I'm not starting. all the mucking about. But no, as Hawks is right in what he says. They're highly trained pros, and they should be up for every game, playing for a huge club like Glasgow Rangers. We weren't good enough on the day. It cost us, and that's it. Well, it's a situation we're in now. We'll just have to get on with it and see what we can do. Hey, this league's not lost, by the way. No, any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's a true thing that a lot of people are saying. Would we have took this position at the start of the season, or after the Beale era, just after the Beale era? Of course you would have. Definitely. So you're there, and you've got more than a decent chance of winning this league. Then let people tell you it's over. People let me believe it's over. It's not over by a long shot. No way.
The biggest game becomes Sunday, as Bridget. And I'm sure you seen mucking there, Bob Jab, yeah?
I did say mucking, yes.
Thank you, mate.
Good man.
I'm from Clement and I use a similar word very regularly.
Yeah.
But not on Rangers Radio. Not when there's a lady present.
Yes, not when there's a lady present. Linda.
Excuse me.
I better not say anything.
Come on, Rangers, get stuck in.
Yeah, well, I've heard about you, the snooker, Linda, and the golf.
A bandit, all of them.
Yes.
Very bad, all of them.
Yeah. Listen, Stuart, I get your point of view and with the Dundee debacle, because that's what it was. Yeah, but listen, it's up to us to get my house in order. Yeah.
No, definitely. See, the other point I was going to make. You heard Phil talking about the players coming back from injury, and you seem to have a wee kind of suggestion that I've got the suggestion. I may be reading into it too much, but the way you say that, and he sort of half smiled, I thought Redvan's coming back. I just felt that he was kind of saying we've got players coming back. And I'm saying there's no talk about the Dowells and guys like that. He's talking about a key player, and Redvan's a key player for us, or it could be a key player for us. I just get a feeling Redvan's. The way you say that, if you watch it, I've watched it 2 or 3 times. I just got that feeling. It was kind of, a wee nudge and a wink, saying, "Aye, Redvan will be back in a minute." Just I'm not saying nothing.
I never picked that vibe up, but hopefully you're right, Linda.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Stuart, because we've missed him, and it's just their luck, isn't it? He hits a bit of form. He's put a run of games together for the first time since he came to Rangers. He goes away in international duty because he's called up because they've got injuries, and he goes off in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. I mean, it's just our luck this season. But I hope he does come back. And because it frees up Sterling as well, and then the manager's got a decision to make as to whether he puts him in somewhere else.
Exactly.
It makes us stronger anyway, Stuart, that's for sure, isn't it?
No, that's what I was thinking. Honestly, find out what he said and just watch it a couple of times. He sort of looks about his eye, his kind of body language is saying something like, maybe I'm reading into it, I've got Ridvan back, that lets me get Sterling into either midfield or onto the right. You know what I'm saying? It's got more options, sort of thing. And he did it with a wee kind of wry smile, I thought. But maybe I'm reading into it too much. Maybe I'm hoping too much. I don't know.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
I think it is. I'm looking on the positive side, as Boxer would say. But I'm always looking for conspiracy theories. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, I think. But I like to listen to what they're saying and try to... You see these press folk talking to them and that, they're always trying to trip them up, make a real fool of themselves, you know.
Yeah,
they should be listening sometimes.
It should be. I've always said this, by the way, guys. I don't want Rangers managers to be interviewed at all, but obviously I'm way out on a limb on an island somewhere in the far distant oceans because nobody else thinks like me. But I wouldn't give interviews to them. I would just wouldn't. Ban them off the Ibrox. That's what I say. Okay, I'm finished.
I get your point, mate, but the press are a powerful enemy, mate, as you know, but I understand your sentiment, but you're right, you're on your own.
I like the way he deals with them, though. I like the way he kind of makes them look stupid. He pauses, and then they don't know what to say, and then it makes them look stupid. So it's really clever with them, let's be honest.
Listen, they'll dissect and they'll try and look for holes. They'll look for a story. Sometimes it's not there, Linda. And obviously, we understood about Wednesday night. It was a bizarre interview, but we understand he was trying to do. He's trying to not throw his team under the bus, and the day he's talking in the dressing room. We understood all that, you know. But when he's sitting there relaxing, and he's honest, he's composed, and he's got the number already, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And if he doesn't like a question, he doesn't, he just doesn't answer. He explains his reasoning, and if he disagrees with the point that they're making, he's quite happy to do that as well, but in a respectful way. As I said earlier, I thought Wednesday he could maybe just have emphasised the fact that the performance still needed to go up another couple of levels, but as I said, he doesn't like to, he certainly wouldn't throw his players under a bus. I don't think he'll ever do that. And he's not really one for singling out players to over praise them either, Ox. He's a very measured guy, and he's always more about the team's performance, isn't he?
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Guys, I'm going to have to go now. Thanks for taking my call, and I'll catch up with you later in the week or something. Okay? Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Bob Jerry, he's definitely got something about him. We're all intrigued to watch him build his own team, aren't we?
Oh, we love his manager. This is the best manager we've had in a long time. And I absolutely adore the man. And he's done. You think about it, the season we're having, he's done wonders with Rangers. He's done wonders with Rangers. I mean, Fibule left and he got us into the cup final, got us challenging for the league. He's won the League Cup, and he handles the press very. I've seen an interview with Graham Souness, and he called them the Scottish paparazzi, and he says the way they treated him was unbelievable. He says that was one of the influences why he left. Didn't want to leave. The Scottish press was one of the influences why he left. Keep putting words in the man's mouth all the time. But this man is no fool. He can see right through them. And as Linda, as you say, you're absolutely right. He handles the press very, very well. Very astute man. Long may he be in charge of Rangers, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So we're moving into this is going to be a real interesting few weeks, Bob. Some people might say it comes down to a bottle.
every game is bottle rocks. I mean, if you're a huge club like Rangers, you've got to win every game. The demands on you are huge. You don't know that. It doesn't need me to tell you. The demands are massive. So the last half dozen games of the season, every one of them is an absolute cup final, maximum effort. That's what I'm wanting everybody. Obviously, wanting everybody to stay fit, and I want Sterling back in the middle of the park, like Stuart says. I'd love him to be back in the middle of the park. So we'll see what happens in the course of the week.
Who would you take out of the park?
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Ken. Lundstrom. I don't think he had an overall good game yesterday. He played well within himself, but he gave the ball away a few times. Here's me really picking on the ball, But no, I would definitely find a way for he put Sterling in the middle of the park. He's a powerhouse. He had a great game yesterday. I thought so anyhow. He's a big asset there.
I like him, but I don't think exactly the manager will take out John Lundstrom. But stranger things have happened, Linda.
Yeah, I agree, Ox. I don't think he'll take Lundstrom out. I think he's his go-to guy, and he likes to play him. He's never dropped him. He never takes him off. For what we're led to believe, he wants to keep him here as well. So, the thing about Sterling is that at that role that Lundstrom plays, he's supposed to take the ball and dictate play, etc. I don't know if Big Dujon's that type of player. He's more about getting in and winning the ball, isn't he, and getting us up the park. So I don't know, that to me they look as if they're two different players, two different type of players. But as I said, it would just give the manager a bit more option in there. But if Ridvan doesn't come back, Ox, I think Sterling
will be there. He'll be there.
He'll be there for the rest of the season.
Right, anyway, we're close to the end of the show. Last word for your good self, Bob Ger.
You're right when you say Linda. But I'd have Sterling in the middle of the park before Lawrence and Doyle, definitely. And what I would do is I would maybe shove Cantwell wide left. I believe he could do a job for you wide left. That would maybe solve the therein problem. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for having me tonight. The half hour I've been on, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'll be on again before the end of the week. And I'll be on regular with the games we've got coming up. It's getting to a tumultuous part of the season, and as Aldridge says there, good luck to the Rangers. The Rangers need us. So I'll see you all later, folks. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Top man, Bob Ger. Linda, last word for your good self.
Great show tonight, Ox. Really enjoyed being on with Bridge and your good self. Lots of positive stuff after what was a truly awful week. So on to the next game, and thanks Rangers for making it a happy weekend.
A happier weekend.
Happier.
Yes. Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say, Ox? Yeah, absolutely brilliant night. Fantastic. Well done. Well done to yourself, and big cheers to the techie boys in the background there. And thanks for Linda for carrying me through. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, big game this weekend. We're bouncing to get it done. Come on. Biggest game of the season coming up in Tappies. We've got to win. Keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Keep it going.
Can I thank Bob Ger and Stuart for joining us? Box and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Linda and Bridge for doing the show. Everybody for listening to Rangers Radio. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.